This weekend, the Formula One World Championship will visit Bahrain for the 16th time, racing at the Sakhir circuit located in, you guessed it, Bahrain. This 3.36-mile circuit, made up of 15 corners, will be raced on for 57 laps this weekend. The circuit is known for its wide runoff areas, impressive architecture, long straights, and the f***ing hellscape that is turns 9 and 10. Now, for some fun facts about the Bahrain Grand Prix. The island of Bahrain is so small that you can make out the circuit from a satellite map. Alcohol is prohibited in Bahrain, so drivers on the podium spray rose water instead of champagne. Sebastian Vettel holds the record for most Bahrain Grand Prix wins, taking 4 of the 15 races so far. And Michael Schumacher still holds the race lap record of a 1 minute 30.2, set in the first ever race in 2004. Now, let's take a look back at the history of the Bahrain Grand Prix. The inaugural race took place on April 4th, 2004. It made history as the first Formula One Grand Prix to be held in the Middle East and was won by eventual championship winner Michael Schumacher. In 2005, Fernando Alonso took the checkered flag to win the race for Renault. He would go on to win the championship as well. Alonso would go on to repeat the feat in 2006. In 2007, Felipe Massa won his first of 2 Bahrain Grand Prix, and followed up the next year in 2008. Braun GP driver Jenson Button won the race in 2009, starting from 4th on the grid. That is the lowest starting position a Bahrain winner has ever had. 2009 marked the 4th time the eventual championship winner took victory. The 2010 Bahrain Grand Prix was held as the season opener on the very unpopular endurance layout. 9 more corners were added, none of which brought anything good to the race, it must be said. It was pretty bad. On February 21st, 2011, it was announced that the Bahrain Grand Prix, scheduled for March 13th, was cancelled due to the 2011 Bahraini anti-government protests. 2011 is the only year since its inception that the Bahrain Grand Prix has not been run. Human rights activists called for a cancellation of the 2012 Bahrain Grand Prix as well, because of reports of ongoing use of excessive force by authorities and torture in detention centers, such as the killing of activist Salah Abbas Habib in the midst of a demonstration on the night of the Grand Prix. Reports have said that many teams were in favor of canceling or postponing the race. In the end, the race was held because, money makes the world go round. Sebastian Vettel took his first ever win in Bahrain. Sebastian Vettel took his second of 4 wins in 2013, with the same podium as 2012 as well, but was unable to go for the three-peat in 2014 because of the dominance of Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton won in 2014 just ahead of his teammate Nico Rosberg and about 30 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Hamilton followed that up with a win in 2015 as well. 2016 world champion Nico Rosberg finally got his Bahrain win the next year, and following the 2017 regulation changes, Sebastian Vettel won in a Ferrari that was probably the best car on the grid at the time. Vettel won again in 2018, in a race where only 3 of the top 6 drivers crossed the finish line, enabling Pierre Gasly to finish at the time a career-best 4th. Last year, in 2019, Charles Leclerc had an almost certain victory taken from him because of a power unit failure. In the end, Lewis Hamilton won, although Leclerc did take his first career podium. That brings us to the 2020 season. Lewis Hamilton is the world champion-elect, if you will, and the current championship leader. He is followed by his teammate Valtteri Bottas and Red Bull's Max Verstappen. I expect the race to finish in that order unless something goes significantly wrong during the race. Though it's not a guaranteed awesome race, Bahrain is certainly above average in my books. I'm looking forward for a decent race, and especially a good race next weekend on the outer circuit layout. So, that brings us to the end of this video. If you want more videos like this ahead of each race weekend, make sure to let me know in the comments. I appreciate any feedback, whether it be a comment, like, or dislike. It helps me make better videos in the future. Also, only about 5% of you guys are subscribed, which is crazy low. Hit that button, y'all. Alright, that's all for me.